This is a Saturday Morning TV Log from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TV Log, and this time around it's Dungeons and Dragons, brought to us by Marvel Productions. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday Morning TV Log is Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I'm doing this in order to promote the just now released new movie, Honor Among Thieves, which you will get a spoiler-free review of later on. Anyway, this animated series is based on the role-playing game from TSR, who co-produced the show with Marvel Productions, along with the help of Toei Animation, who of course would later go on to work on some other anime series and even work on the first season of the original Transformers the following year. The show premiered on CBS in September of 1983, and this is a show I did grow up watching and what have you. Now let's see. Now the show focuses on a group of 6 friends here. And they are aged between 9 and 15 who are transported to the realm of Dungeons and Dragons by taking a magical dark ride on an amusement park roller coaster. Upon arriving in the realm, they meet Dungeon Master, named for the referee in the role-playing game, who gives each child a magical item, whom I'll get to in a bit. Now then, each week the kids have to try and find their main goal, which is to find a way home. But they often take detours to help people or find that their fates are intertwined with that of others. The group comes across many different enemies, but their primary antagonist is Venger, the force of evil, a powerful wizard who wishes to rule the realm and believes the power from the children's weapons will help him to do so. Another recurring villain is Tiamat, who is a 5-headed dragon and the only creature that Venger fears. Anyway, now, throughout the series, a connection is suggested between Dungeon Master and Venger. At the end of one episode, The Dragon's Graveyard, Dungeon Master calls Venger my son. And there was to be a final unproduced episode called Requiem, which would have confirmed that Venger is the Dungeon Master's corrupted son, making the character Karina the sister of Venger and daughter of Dungeon Master, redeemed Venger, giving those trapped in the realm their freedom, and ending on a cliffhanger where the 6 children could finally return home or deal with the evil that still exists in the realm. The show ended in December of 1985 after 3 seasons, and 27 episodes were produced and aired. Now then. Now, however, Michael Reeves, who wrote the story of Requiem, had discussed the episode online and published the original script on his personal website. The first complete series released by the now-defunct BCI Clips features the script recorded in the form of an audio drama as a special feature. That was pretty cool. I never got it though, but I did enjoy it for what it gave to us. When it came out, the level of violence was controversial for American children's television at the time, even though there were some other shows that were out at the time, including the original He-Man, which debuted the same year. And the script for The Dragon's Graveyard was almost canceled because the characters contemplated killing their nemesis Venger. In 1985, the National Coalition on Television Violence demanded that the FTC run a warning during each broadcast stating that the show had been linked to real-life violent deaths. The series spawned more than 100 different licenses, and the show led its time slot for 2 years. Now, after it ended, it continued in reruns going into 1986. It would return for reruns during the midpoint of 1989 to 1990, and would later get shown on the Fox network in the late 90s, early 2000s. There would also be a board game from TSR, which was called Quest for the Dungeon Master, inspired by the episode In Search of the Dungeon Master, in which the Dungeon Master is captured by Warduke and frozen in a magical crystal, and the kids try to rescue him before Venger gets there. There would also be books, card games, comic books, and lots of others. Let's see now. Now, BCI Eclipse released a complete series in December 2006. The title's now out of print, but however, 3 years later, Mill Creek would re-release the series without the special features, but with almost all the original music restored, since BCI did not do that. This is why I didn't get it. So anyway, I really think this is a really fun show, and what have you. Now for our characters, for the kids, we have Hank, who is transformed into the Ranger with a bow and arrow. He's voiced by Willie Ames, who you mostly know him best. You might know him from TV's 8 is Enough, and also the following year he would play Limbeck on Charles in Charge. And he'd also go on to play Bible Man. Let's see. Next would be his 8 is Enough colleague, the late Adam Rich, which I'm respectfully dedicating this in memory of him, in which he passed away earlier this year, this past January. Of course, you may know him as Nicholas from 8 is Enough. Now, of course, if I remember this, I do apologize. And Willie Ames was best known for playing Thomas Bradford Jr. for most of the run after Mark Hamill left. Adam Rich becomes Presto. I can't remember what his real name was. He's a magician. He's with a green robe and hat on. Next is Sheila, who also gets like a cloak and becomes invisible. She's the thief, voiced by Katie Lee. Let's see here. Tonya Gale Smith voices Diana, an African-American girl who becomes the acrobat with a bow staff. Next, there's Don Moss, who you mostly know best as Ralph Mouth of Happy Days fame, voices Eric, the Cavalier, who is with a shield, and he's kind of a real crazy guy. He's always acted like a goofball at times, being a scary cat, whatever, like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo at times. Yeah. And Tay Field III plays Bobby, Sheila's kid brother, who becomes the Barbarian. Other voices include Bob Holt voicing the Shadow Demon. Let's see. Sidney Miller voices the Dungeon Master. Voice god Frank Welker voices Uni, a unicorn, as well as does vocal effects, as well as vocal effects for Tiamat and others. While Peter Cullen, who the same year this came out, voiced Mario on Saturday Supercade, and the following year he would voice Optimus Prime in Transformers. He would voice Venger and others. Now, there are other characters I mentioned, but, well, they're hard to explain, because it's been some time since I last watched the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. But anyway, Dungeons & Dragons, it's pretty cool in my view, and it's very dark as well. Now, let me see. Let me give you a good look at the characters, just in case if you've never seen the show. Here's a look at our main core cast of the kids and what have you. From left to right, we have Presto, Diana, Hank, Bobby, Sheila, and Eric. Now, this is kind of a little bit of art and what have you. We see Dungeon Master, there's Uni, and up there's Venger, being scared up by a Tiamat. Anyway, so now you know about Dungeons and Dragons, the animated series. Now, I think you can find the series for, well, the Mill Creek release for a reasonable price, but if not, no problem. The full series is available on YouTube. So, if you've never seen Dungeons and Dragons, and this is a show I would recommend you check out. If you're into shows like He-Man or maybe recent shows that came out before, it's like Black Star or, let's see, or Thundar the Barbarian, then I'd say definitely go with Dungeons and Dragons. You will enjoy it. Now, again, it is a shame we don't see the kids return. This is just similar to like what we've seen in other shows from years before. It's like Shazam, Land of the Lost, Valley of the Dinosaurs. Enough said. So anyway, what did you think of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned. I will be giving you the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves review later on. Now, I did check. There is a way you could possibly see how the ending turns out for the kids. I did see what looked like a Marvel Comics book that actually featured the story of Rakim. But let's not really jump to any conclusions or something like that, okay? But that's just so I saw. But anyway, thank you for checking out my Saturday Morning TVLog of Dungeons and Dragons. And if you like this, check out these other Saturday Morning TVLogs for these other shows I had just spoken of. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TVLog I did on the original Land of the Lost from 1974, which actually happened to air in reruns after the show on CBS, when it picked it up for reruns. In the upper right-hand corner is my Saturday Morning TVLog on Valley of the Dinosaurs from Hanna-Barbera, also from the same year in 1974. Or if you would like, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see the Saturday Morning TVLog for one of the shows that premiered the same year this show did, and that would be Saturday Supercade. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TVLog, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TVLog is Stone Protectors. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.